Uh, Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me from. My name is NCK2310. And what I do here, I do scrutinize and analyze songs. I dwell with gospel songs. I also dwell with political songs, and especially political songs of the country I come from. I am from Kenya, but I live in Sweden and used to live many years before in Germany. And I also deal with Mogidhi, which are party songs. So I dwell a lot with Kikuyu songs. Kikuyu is one of the many tribes in Kenya, and I am a Kikuyu from Kenya. Yes, and today I've prepared a nice song, which is a political song. And for the returning subscribers, thank you so much. Welcome back. And for those that are new, welcome as well. And let's get on with this journey of scrutinizing and analyzing our beautiful Kikuyu songs. Yes. So I do it in English for those who don't understand Kikuyu so that you can know why the Kikuyu people enjoy all these kind of songs. What do they talk about? What is inside their songs? I'm here to tell you. All right, without wasting any time, let me dive in with the song I've prepared for you. And as I have said, always when I scrutinize and analyze the song, if you know which song it is, you can always type there. Feel free. You can always write down the comment section. And after I'm done, we can see who was right, who was wrong, who is, if you know who has written the song or who have sung the song. All right, let me dive in and we see what the song has to say today. The song says, when we sing, others sing as well. In Kikuyu, ate twaina onaragi nĩ mainaga na ithuĩ. When we sing about hunger, rĩrĩa tũraina ũhoro wa ng'aragu, or when we are singing of the endless problems in our country, Kenya. So, when we do that, there are those people who also sing, because we are singing and they hear us singing. The song says, but when we laugh or when we are smiling, those who are called others, they start to cry. It means they don't want to see us happy. And this is we, the mountain people. In Kenya, the mountain people are the Gema community. For those who don't know, the Gema community is a combination, because not maybe everybody knows what I'm talking about when I talk about the mountain people. It's us. Gema community, which belongs to the Bantus. The Gema community is consisted of Gikuyu, like I'm a Kikuyu, the Embu people, the Meru people, and the Akamba people. So we are the mountain people, the Gema. So this song is about us. As we can hear on this sentence, the sentence is saying that when they hear us singing about problems and struggling and all sorts of negative things, they are with us. But the moment they hear us, the Gema community are happy, smiling. If they hear us, the Gema community saying, hey, our coffee is good, the prices are okay, for example, our tea is good, our milk product, we can sell, we can get, when they hear we are getting money in our pockets, they don't like it. They start to cry. I'm reading this is a very old song. I'm just trying to explain what it means, how I understand it, okay? That when they hear us happy, they don't like it. Then they start to cry when they hear the mountain is happy. The song says, their joy is when we, the Gema community, are suffering. They want to see us squeezed to the end. They want to see us with endless pain. They don't want to see the Gema community happy. They want, like at the moment, for example, in our country, Kenya, a lot is going on. That, for example, the Gema community, especially my Kikuyu tribe, a lot of cries everywhere because many people who are in the government, they are being fired left, right, center, And of course, when we have the pain, when we are suffering, others are laughing at us. The song says, may God have mercy on the Gema community. As the Kikuyu said, we are in the Gema community, that may God have mercy. Because the things which are going on, only God can save us and our country in general. The song continues to say, the ones we sent to grace for us, the ones we sent to work for us. This song talks in parables. That's why I try as much as I can to go a little bit giving examples of what the song is, the meanings of the song. That the ones we sent to grace for us, the ones we sent to work in the government, we gave them our votes that they can go and work for our Kenyan people, for us. Instead of doing that, they usually feed on the sheep and even on its skin. That those people we sent to work for us, instead of doing that, they went to the parliament, they went to the, their government officials, and instead of working for us, we who gave them our votes, we who sent them to make sure to go and fight for our rights, make sure that we are living a comfortable life, make sure that we are not taxed left, right, center when there is no money coming in our pockets. We sent them to work for us, but instead, because of their selfish, greedy, egoistic stomachs, they are feeding on a sheep and on the skin of the sheep. That's what the song says. Ate mararia ngodu na makaria ginya roa, as we say in Kikuyu. They eat the goat and even the sheep or the goat and even the skin. Because they are greedy, selfish, egoistic, as I have said. Look ahead and see our forest. Trees have been cut down. We know that, for example, our culture, for example, with the Gema community, we believe so much in the environment preservation. We do remember, like the late Wangari Maathai, the Nobel Prize winner, one of them, that she was fighting so much during the Moi time to protect our forest. Today, as we talk, there are so many people who just greedy of money that their work is just to cut and cut and cut trees. This song has been there for many years. This song is talking about that our trees have been cut because there are some people in leadership, they don't care about the Kenyan environment. They don't know the importance of having good environment, so that to avoid all this with climate change, so that we can help to attract rain. That's why we plant a lot of trees. That's why it's important. But some people, they don't care. They are cutting forests because they want pieces of land so they can build houses and buildings. They don't care about the environment. They don't care when it's going dry seasons, for example. And we know that when there is rain, if we are able to plant enough plants, enough crops, enough food, we are able, we as a country, to feed even the people who live in the very, very dry areas, like in the north part of Kenya, for example, where they almost never get any rain. Because in our areas, for example, where it's possible to plant crops, it's very important that we are able to attract the rain. And we know very well, those of us who went to school, that trees, forests attracts rain. But when we have a government, officials, irresponsible people who are just thinking of money, they're just cutting off the bushes so they can steal the pieces of land, so they can build buildings, so they can make, I don't know, house, what, so that they can rent out and get money in, forgetting that there are some areas where you should let it be. For example, in the Western countries, They have areas where you cannot just go around cutting trees just carelessly so as to build houses or buildings. Which day shall our officials learn, for example, in my country, Kenya, that environment must be preserved? This song is saying that some of those officials, they don't care. They've cut a lot of forest. The sun shining directly, even not taking care of our kids. Some kids who have no classrooms, they are forced maybe to study out on sitting on trees, and the sun is burning them. And there are politicians smiling, driving big cars from taxpayers' money. The song continues to say, trees have been cut down, as I've read. They scream as we scream. When we start to say, oh, the trees are being cut down, they are the first ones also to scream. But they are the ones doing those things. As I've said, the children are out directly being burnt by sun. They don't care. The song says, the mountain boy should bring a bird with no feathers. I think when this song was written, it was President Uhuru who was the president then. And there he was. We have to ask ourselves, because President Uhuru, the president before, former president of Kenya, he brought Ruto in 2013. Could it be that he brought us a bird with no feathers? Or what did he bring to us? Because without Uhuru Kenyatta, us, the mountain, we would have never, and let me say never, ever wanted to listen the name Ruto. It was a nightmare because of the 2007, 2008, and also because of 1992. Those of us who are older, we know the name Ruto for many, 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 many years. The time late President Moi used to harass us, the mountain people, Ruto was there clapping the hands, supporting Moi. Oh, that's all what he did, actually. And so for us, the mountain people, to hear the name Ruto, we were always like, oh no, please. But there was Uhuru, he came, he brought to us Ruto. What did he bring to us? Because he came, he played his game, he played with our brain, he lied to us. And with the mountain, I think we are very soft-hearted people because we listened to his lies. We bought them. I think we are too nice. We are too kind. We are, the mountain people, so forgiving. Yes, we are. But at the end of all that, nobody cares about us. The song continues to say, Moguma, wait, I have to see where I am. Yes, that a bird with no feathers that will take us to the wilderness. We are already in the wilderness, the mountain people, if you don't know. You should blame first Uhuru Kenyatta before you even blame Rigathi Gachagua. Because first it was Uhuru Kenyatta who brought for us Ruto. And as the song says, that bird with no feathers would take us to the wilderness. That is exactly where we are now. The mountain people, you are in the wilderness. Because, as I said, with these songs, I always like to go to deeper details because I understand Kikuyu language. I'm a Kikuyu. So I want you to understand deeper what this song says. And I say it in English so that your kids who don't understand Kikuyu language can understand this song as well. That's why I use English. English is also our national language in Kenya because Kenya was a British colony. So now that we are in the wilderness, the writer is telling us our mountain must come together and elect real men. Let me repeat that again. that our mountain must come together and erect real men. You know what I mean? It's written like that because this song is in parables. It says, you who is wise, you know what I mean. If you know, you know. Mogumo tree in Gatanga fell. That was a few years ago. We remember this story. It was a big story. Even those news, reached us here in the Western countries, in the diaspora countries, that a Mogumo tree had fallen in Gatanga, in Muranga. Those who don't know what is a Mogumo tree, it's, I think, fig tree as it's called in English. And it's, for us, especially the Gema community, we value Mogumo tree very much. It's trees that they've been there for years and years and years. And when this story came that a Moguma tree had fallen, many people were scared, including me. Because those of us who knows the history, we hear that when a Moguma tree falls, it's not a good thing. When a Moguma tree falling by itself, it's something very, very unusual because it's one of the most strongest tree in the world. The roots are deep, 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 deep inside. So it can survive all kind of environments. And when that Mugumo tree fell in Gatanga, this song is saying that when that tree fell, those that are wise knows the meaning. The meaning is that a mess is coming. Mess means something bad. The worst is coming. The worst is to come. It was the meaning of that Mugumo tree falling down in Gatanga a few years ago. This song is many, many years. It's already talking about this. Like was shown in the walls of the house of Nebuchadnezzar. It's talking a little bit about the story in the Bible. Then the song is asking, who can explain the meaning of these parables? Who is that wise man who can inform us about these parables? The song is saying, please, especially our Gema community, we have our elders, as we call them in the Gema community. They have a lot of history, a lot of stories. They should come up again and educate, especially our youths. Some of these things, what does it mean when a Mogumo tree falls? Because there is a history about it, that the worst is to come, that something bad is happening. Could it be that right now, where we are now, as the Gema community, could it be those signs of the Mogumo tree was one of the messages God wanted to show us? Let's continue on with the song. The song says, when Jonah preached to the Israelites about the living God, about Jesus, he told them that the kingdom has come. But they later on cooked him in a pot. They betrayed him. Betrayal is the worst thing someone can do. Betrayal. Just like Jonah was betrayed by the Israelites. The song is trying to compare the Gema community being betrayed. Betrayed by who? By the bird with no feathers. Could it be this song is talking about Ruto, President Ruto? That the Gema community decided to be honest, to be nice, to be kind, and gave him the votes. Without the votes for Gema community, Ruto could never have been the Kenyan president. Absolutely not. Because the votes, we have the numbers. Mountain has the numbers. That's a fact. If anyone ever want to be president of Kenya, the Gema community has to be on your side. Anyway, what can I say? With this song, that the Israelites betrayed Jonah. I'm comparing it to Ruto betraying the Gema community, the Kikuyus especially. After all what we, the Gema community, we, the Kikuyus, did for him, he's betrayed us. He's coming out, lying every day, telling us fairy tales, things that are not there. It is heartbreaking. But you know what? For everything that happens in our country, we, the Kikuyus especially, we have songs for everything. We have songs that we can go always back to, listen to, get educated, listen to the pieces of advice, the piece of advice that our songs give us. They encourage us. Because some of those things that are happening now, hey, we already had one of our Kikuyu great artists writing about it, talking about it, prophesying about it. But it seems like most of us just ignore our artists, the things they write. They must be God sent. Some of these things, when you listen to the songs, that's why I always, at the end of the show, I always like to tell who've written the song and the name of the song so that you also can go and listen, especially those who understand the Kikuyu language, because I want all these words to sink in. Because we have amazing, amazing songs that can educate us, that can warn us. It's high time we start to listen and soak in the words of the song. The song continues to say that he told them the kingdom has come and that they betrayed him, just like Ruto has betrayed the Kikuyus or the Gema community. The song says, the breakfast tea that they took at the parliament, this was many, many years ago with some of our mountain officials, that they forgot to speak in Kiswahili, and they spoke something in our mother tongue. And after they did that, that was many, many years ago, they said something about us Gema. So it was Gema leaders talking in Kikuyu or Kamba or Meru or whatever. And what happened? They were thrown out. They were told to leave because they were tribal. This is a song that is written maybe 8 years old, this song, but it's already telling what some of our people, our Gema people, went through at the parliament. That they were standing there, and instead of talking using Kiswahili language or English, they used vernacular language. And the things they were saying took them to be in trouble. And when they're in trouble, it's all of us. They were thrown out. They were told they are tribal. Exactly the same thing. What happened with Rigathi Gachagua? That when he was going around as a vice president, he was deputy president, as he was going around and he sometimes spoke in our mother tongue, Kikuyu language, he was told he's tribal. But when President Ruto goes somewhere in Sugoi area and he's speaking his language, nobody says anything. When the members of parliament or the CSs or whatever, when they go and they speak their own languages, they're not called tribal. But the eyes, the target is on us, the Gema community, especially the Kikuyus. That you as a leader, even when you go to your villages, it's like nobody wants you to speak your mother tongue. Why? Because we are a target. These stories were there. This song is 8 years old. Rigathi Gachagua was not a deputy. Even Ruto was not a president. But this song was already written. What happened to our Gemas before? So it's not the first time that our Gema people are thrown out from the government because they're accused of being tribal, because they speak the vernacular, our language. It's high time the mountain to wake up. You should know that You are a target. We, the mountains, we, the Gema community, we are a target. If you go and speak your vernacular language, I don't know, in your villages or whatever, you're called tribal. Those things were, you are thrown out of your works and cases are put on you, just like with Rigathi Gachagua happened. Rigathi is not the first. These things have been there and they will continue to be there. Why? Because there are some people who don't like us. There are some people who are maybe jealous of us, the Gema community. There are some people who want to see us suffer. Let's continue on with the song. The song says, it's a very touching song when you listen to these songs nicely. They were told to leave because they were tribal, just like Gachagua. So there were others who went through the same before Gachagua, many years ago. You will all say that the singer, he writes, that we'll all say that he's singing his own things. But he's not. The writer, the artist who wrote this song, he was already warning us. He was already telling us one day, like a date like today, we're going to be saying he is writing his own stories. He's having his own fantasies. Those things he wrote are already here. He's saying one day we're going to remember him. One day, actually, this artist already passed away a few years ago. He's saying one day we're going to recall his words. We will remember what he told us. We will remember he warned us. One day, and that day is today. Because the Gema community, especially the Kikuyus, are suffering. And that's the joy of others. Others that don't like us. That's what they want to see when you're suffering, when you're complaining, when you're not happy. The song says, he is not writing his own things, but what he's doing, he's fulfilling God's work. He was prophesying about what would happen to the Gema community. He was doing God's work. He was God sent. That's what he writes in the song. And one day we remember him, that the things he was writing in these songs will come to pass, will be exactly. And those are the things we are seeing today. He prophesied to us, the Gema community. But many people used to say, he's just writing songs only because of money. You don't know what he's saying. He's a dreamer. He was prophesying some of these things we are seeing today. The song says, you made me go to a pre-wedding and met the bride and the family. And the family abused the girl. The girl was stolen. And so the one who was sent left with nothing. Just like a male sheep. This is a proverb that this is a very nice proverb. Let me repeat that again. That when you send someone, let's say, for example, there is a wedding, there's something called pre-wedding, Shai. When, for example, the Kikuyus, you go and represent your lady. This is or something like that, and you go to the men's family to say, we hear you want our girl gonna cost this. You go to bargain. And with this song it's saying, those people that went to bargain, when they reach there, they are treated not right. They are even abused. And after that, they even steal the girl for free. This is a song talking about the mountain, because the mountain is the girl for Kenya. The mountain, why I say we are the girl, we are the beautiful girl of Kenya, because we have the numbers. And many politicians from other parts, and even our own, they know that. that the mountain is the beautiful flower. Just like a man wants a beautiful woman. Yes. When a man is choosing, we'll think, oh, I want that lady. She will be mine. That's the same with the mountain. Everybody salives for the mountain votes. It's not because they like us. It's not because they appreciate us. But we are that beauty. We have the beauty in us. God gave us the numbers. Just like this song is saying, it's high time to be careful that whoever we send to bargain for us on our behalf, to do it properly. That means, for example, when Rigathi Gachagua entered into that agreement with Ruto before the general election 2022, he could have agreed and signed on a document because of this beautiful girl called the Mulima. But instead, Rigathi agreed with the mouth. You should never do that. There is a song, 8 years old song, which was warning such things. It's a song talking in, what do you call them, Vimo parables. That if you go to bargain for the mountain, you have to do it properly. Written document, the agreement, that's why some other groups, that's what they do. You can never go and not have a contract where it's signed. We agree on this and this and that. The mountain, they have the numbers. If we, the mountain, give you our votes, what are you going to do for the mountain people? The mountain people, they need hospitals, they need schools, they need nice roads, they need businesses. Instead, there wasn't anything like that. Just like the song says. And I would like later on, those listening to me, I would like you later on, please to go and listen to this song carefully, those who speak the Kikuyu language. You will hear that this song is exactly talking about how when that person who was sent to bargain about the bride, she left with nothing. He came back with nothing. Same like Gachagua. He left with nothing. The mountain is hanging. We don't know what we can do right now because we have the Kenya Constitution, which says the general elections are every 5 years. And we, the mountain people, we love peace. We don't want to see our country go down. And that's why when we say 2027 is not that far, it's something that we should take, people should take it seriously because, hey, when we say right now, oh, now I don't know, we have to do what? You cannot throw Ruto out now. You know, it's good sometimes to live with the reality. Not unless other things happens to him. But following our Kenyan constitution, we have to wait until 2027. And then with the mountain, it should be a lesson to all of us that never again we, the girl of Kenya, the beautiful girl of Kenya, the mountain, we are, never again we're gonna send people who don't know what they do when they go to bargain about us. It's high time that we, the mountain people, we have learned a lesson, but this time it should be a good lesson, not just because it seems like we forget very fast. It seems like the mountain people, you just hear and then you think, tomorrow is a new day. New things will come. We forget so easily. It's high time we, the mountains, we come together. We refuse to be divided. We know the stories of betrayal and those tokonia, we used to call them. They were there even during the British, the colony time. There were those people who were betraying us among us, but they are betraying us. We have to mark them. You have to mark that one is sent to betray us. That one is sent to build, I don't know, new. You're sent to open your own party so that you can divide the mountain. This round, the mountain do not agree to be divided because that is the plan. Because the only way other people gonna win the election is when we, the mountain people, allow ourselves to be divided. So our votes will not be on one basket. That will be one of the most naive thing we can do. Let us wake up. Let us be one. Let us say, nobody will divide us again. We saw like in 2022, during the general election, most of us went to the side of Ruto and others were pleasing Uhuru Kenyatta, so they went to the side of Raila. 1 million votes or something like that. This time, let's come together as the mountain. 2027 is not that far. It's not. I know it's tough for Kenyans to hear when you think about, oh my God, we're in 2025. Then 2026. When is this 2027 coming in August? When? Time goes fast. We just have to make sure we follow our constitution, because 2010 constitution is one of the best constitutions actually in the world. And we should not allow anybody to change it for their own selfish gains, because they have evil plans. Just like the song is saying, it's telling of a story. How that person went to bargain for the girl, for the beautiful girl, but came back with nothing, and the girl was stolen for free. It's the same. The mountain has been taken for free. You know, those of us who like following Kenyan news, it was shocking yesterday when we were listening to President Ruto at Citizen TV. But before we dive in on that, let me continue on here with the song, because the song is saying, mountain, be very, very careful. That is the song that is telling us. Because a beautiful girl cannot be taken away just like that. And as I have said, mountain is the beautiful girl of Kenya. So this song is talking in parables, is warning us, telling us what could have happened, but now things already happened. Now it's up to us to learn it and say 2027, we will not repeat the same mistake. We say 2027, nobody will fool us. It's high time we say 2027, we the mountain people, we have to continue marking who is a betrayer. Mark them. Who is planning to betray us? Mark all of them, so that you make sure you will not give any of those betrayers any of our votes. Mark them, because these games of betrayal has been running around for a long time, even among ourselves. It's high time we mark them. It's high time that we have to make sure we are one. We are one basket as the mountain people. You know, this is a very, very amazing song. Well, as I was saying today, I was still like, I still couldn't believe it, what I had yesterday President Ruto talking about on Citizen TV. You know, when he talked about that Rigathi Gachagua wanted 10 billion Kenya shillings from him, let us assume, just let's assume it's the truth. We have to ask him, why did Rigathi Gachagua want 10 billion from you? Could it be that he paid during the elections? Could it be you were using his pocket? Could it be? Remember, Rigathi Gachagua has a lot of money. Remember, he's been a DO for many, many, many years during the Moi time. Remember, his brother, the late brother of him that died, was also in the government, he left a lot of money and everything. Rigathi Gachagua before has been very, very close to Uhuru Kenyatta for many years. What Ruto is not telling Kenyans, how did Rigathi Gachagua come to 10 billion? He should come out and tell us. He should not just say, oh, Rigathi was saying he wants 10 billion so he can go and talk to the mountain people. We don't buy that. No, we don't buy that story. It could be you had made an agreement, you both, before you won that position. Could it be you had made an agreement that Rigathi Gachagua will campaign for you, which he did? Some of us, for example, myself, I flew all the way from Sweden to Kenya to vote for Ruto just because I believed in Gachagua. I believed what Gachagua was telling us. Just like before Uhuru had told us that Ruto had changed and he's a nice man. There we were again, me including myself, believing again to a Kikuyu man when he says, oh, let's go for him. So without Rigathi Gachagua, most of us, me, myself, and many others that I know, I remember we flew, for example, I see Regina Reinbeck. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome. I remember that I flew, for example, with some people from Sweden here. And then we flew all the way to Germany, to Frankfurt. We met with some Germans there. And we flew all together to Kenya just for voting. General election. And then we came back. You know, what I think, I don't know if many of Kenyans would think like me. I think this 10 billion, which Ruto is talking about, it's something he had agreed with Rigathi Gachagua, but only with the mouth. They did not sign anywhere. They did not agree anywhere. Maybe Rigathi said, okay, I will help you get as many votes as you can from the mountain. And Rigathi delivered. He did. Rigathi made sure that many people went and voted for Ruto because we believed so much what Rigathi was telling us. And it's so many Kenyans, especially the mountains, that did that. So Rigathi delivered. And if there was an agreement, Ruto should give Gachagua the 10 billion. If that was the agreement between them. That does not mean that Rigathi was selling. Rigathi did it. He delivered. He told us to give a chance to Ruto. I remember some of us were like, are you sure? This man, 2007, 2008, our people, many people lost lives and stuff like that. We were very, but Rigathi said, please, let us be forgiving people. God loves us, the Gema community. Let us give him a chance. He has changed. He's a good man. Just like Uhuru had told us. But for Uhuru, he was just trying to protect himself because of the cases they had at ICC. So again, with the Gema community, we were again trapped into believing. But just to tell President Ruto, if he owes Rigathi Gachagua 10 billion, he should pay him. Because if that was the deal, he has to fulfill the deal. Because all these other stories, what Ruto was telling, why Rigathi had to be fired. He's telling of stories that, please, for me, I wanted, what's the name? Kidiki. There was a vote. Kidiki got 25 votes and Gachagua got 5. Comes the second question we Kenyans need to ask ourselves so that you can know. Then Ruto forged. If at all the members of parliament voted and they agreed, hey, you know what? We want Kidiki. And they gave Kidiki 25 of the votes, and Rigathi got only 5. To be fair, if you're a good leader, if you are a responsible leader, if you don't do what's called forging, he could have taken Kidiki from the beginning. Regardless that Rigathi was making a lot, bringing votes for him and stuff like that, he could have paid Rigathi Gachagua his money. But when it comes to being honest, to being a good leader, that you choose the one who have won, he could have gone for Kidiki. Regardless that Rigathi has brought him the votes, he could have told Rigathi, we can sign an agreement, I'll pay you your 10 billion, but for being fair, for being a good leader, I will not forge. The member of parliaments have agreed on Kindiki, let's go for Kidiki. He didn't do that. Instead, he's telling himself, so that you Kenyans, you can wake up. If Ruto was able to forge that, why was he not able to forge also the general elections? It's a question we all should ask ourselves. Even if, like me, we voted for him. Now, questions are starting to ring in our heads. Wait a minute. If he exchanged the votes, instead of giving Kidiki, he gave to Gachagua, why couldn't he do the same to tell the people in general elections, even if Raila, I would never vote for Raila, mission impossible. But in this case, we have to say, if Raila had won, it was wrong if Ruto stole the votes. Because right now, after yesterday's conversation, after listening to Ruto, things are working now in the Kenyans. You should ask yourselves some questions. It shows that Ruto is not a fair leader. Just by the fact that Kindiki, he told the member of parliaments, vote. He agreed they should vote. And we know when there's voting, the ones that win is the one that gets the winning position, is the one that is rewarded. Instead, you heard it yourself yesterday. He even say how many votes Kindiki got, how many votes Rigathi got. But instead, he chose Rigathi. So that was forging. Simple and clear. Unacceptable. You know, Ruto is destroying himself even more than where he is today, because with yesterday, I couldn't believe my ears. The things that he talked, he affirmed to all Kenyans that he's somebody who is not trustworthy. You cannot trust, and it's crazy that we Kenyans trusted him with our votes, because we don't know where our country is heading. No wonder Ruto has no pain to try to sell our airport, to try, I don't know, to do what with pieces of lands, to try, I don't know, to do what with what schools and all the things he's doing, because he don't have the pain of how our forefathers fought for our country. He don't know the price our forefathers fought. They had to pay with their blood. They had to die for our country, trying to chase away the British from our country, trying to regain our country. Ruto don't have that pain. He don't care. Same like he didn't respect the members of parliament votes to vote Kindiki from the beginning. Is the same way that he don't care about you, we Kenyans, what we are suffering. That our kids are finishing schools, no jobs for them. When you go to hospitals, no medicine for Kenyans. Schools, poor schools, like some of the parts of Kenya, is that students are sitting on stones, even from the areas where Ruto is from, those Rift Valley areas. Can you imagine? In 2025, that there are students who even can go to school, they can't get meals because the parents can't afford to always give them food to carry to school or even pay for their lunch. Some students stay hungry the whole day. Someone who don't care. It's high time for us, the mountain people, to wake up. And if you're there and you know your plans is to betray the rest of the mountain people, we have eyes on you. We are marking on you. And this should be the work we should be doing now, the mountain people. Up to 2027, we have to be mastering, checking, the movements. What is this one saying? What is this one doing? That one opening a political party. Why? Why we can't have one as the mountain? Why that one want differently? Because they want to divide the votes of the mountain. Because some of those people, they are promised a few billions. But for them, maybe they're more clever than Gachagua, that they write on a written document that they can approve. Maybe right now, Rigathi Gachagua cannot come out and tell anybody why he wanted, if it's true, he wanted 10 billion from Ruto. Maybe it's because he said, I'll bring you the votes. He agreed with the mouth. You cannot do that. But on one side, we know it, that when it's a written document, maybe also he can put himself in trouble, because people would be saying, so you went to sell us. If there was a document showing, I'll bring you mountain votes, but I want 10 billion, and it's signed. So someone can come out and say, look, he sold you. Look at this. Maybe Gachagua didn't want that. That's why he thought he was more clever. But you know what? That's why I always say in life it's good to do the right thing in life. Always do the right thing. No shortcuts, no bribing, no fooling around. So that in case anything comes, you can stand up there strong and say, hey, I'm here. I want to know what wrong I've done, this and this, and that you're able to talk on your behalf. You know, with this song, it's a wake-up call song. It's a little bit, I can't say it's late, because 2027 will come. It's a lesson for us, the mountain people, to learn that we should make sure that nobody will divide us. We've seen also the story when Ruto said that he's the mentor for Didi Nyoro. Now, we've seen all what's been going on, the MP for Kiharu. We know that he's been doing a good job with the classroom, with tiles and blah, 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 blah. But now, with the mountains, we have to be very, very careful right now after all that has been going on. Now we have to keep a good eye. We cannot sleep anymore. We have to make sure that no more tricks are played on us, not by anybody, and not the betrayers. Because by Ruto saying that he's the mentor for Didi Nyoro, it could be two things. One, it could be the true, could be it's true. That means Didi Nyoro will play the mountain people. He will betray the mountain people, because if he has already opened his own party and he's on the side of for Ruto, it means Ruto is counting for few votes from Didi Nyoro from the mountain. Okay. So number two, it could be he want to destroy Didi Nyoro's for lifetime, forever. Because he knows when he says he's the mentor, with the mountain, we will isolate ourselves. Even the Kiharu people, if we prove it and they know it's true, they will deassociate themselves from Didi Nyoro more or less, so that he will not serve anymore. He will not be re-elected in any positions, for example. Not unless Ruto nominate him for something else in his government, maybe. You know, but we have to wait and see. We have to wait and watch, because it could go two ways. Either it's true, and then Didi Nyoro is Agakunia, or number two, Ruto want to destroy the political career for Didi Nyoro. It could be one of those. But it's high time for us, the mountain people, to keep on watching. Anything we watch it. We share our deeds, so that we will not be fooled again, not by anybody. This time we have to wake up. It's a wake-up call for us. Lazima tukue macho, as we say in Swahili. It's high time, because the game that Ruto played on Gachagua, it will be remembered for a lifetime. That Gachagua brought him so many votes and he got nothing in return. if it was the agreement for 10 billion, then he was kicked out with nothing, and he has nothing to show that we had agreed on this and that. He didn't sign anything. Nothing. It's something to be learned. Something to be learned. Just like this song is saying, do not go and sell the mountain for nothing and you come out with nothing. I wish Gachagua had listened to this song. Maybe he could have opened his eyes before. Maybe then he couldn't have been fooled. That's why I say, those people who speak the Kikuyu language, please be listening to these amazing songs. Try to understand, especially these Kikuyu political songs. They tell us so much. They warn us. They prophesy stuff for us. It's things that we should not only be singing without meditating the words of the songs. Because if Gachagua maybe had listened to this song, maybe he wouldn't be where he is as well. But anyway, what can I say? For us, the mountain people, it's a lesson to be learned. Yes. And as I've always said, the name of the singer, I always tell that after I'm done with the song. The song is called Nyoba Mwenau. It's a question. Nyoba, it means the mountain. Who is with us? Who is with us, the mountain, is the question. The name is in a question mark. Nyoba Mwenau. And it's by late John DeMatthew. So for those listening, please make sure you go and listen to this amazing song. It's a very, very nice song. I see Riri TBT. Thank you so much for coming. You can rewatch. Yes, it was a political song today that I was scrutinizing and analyzing. Please, you can listen to it after this. It's an amazing political song. So those who've never listened to it, please go listen. Those who speak Kikuyu language, go listen. And for those who don't understand the Kikuyu language, I'm here to explain to you what this song says, so that, because we have a lot of Gema who don't understand Kikuyu language, even our own kids or grandkids, they don't understand. So I'm here to talk to you, to tell you what these songs teach us, that let us be people who understand these songs. Let us be people who get the piece of advice these songs give to us, so that to make sure we are not trapped again, to make sure that we are not tricked again, because we've been tricked. Here we are. The only thing left for us, 2027. Not unless something else happened before. I'm not God, so I don't know. But otherwise, following the Kenyan Constitution, 2027, you have to wait. And then we make sure that Ruto goes home. We have to make sure also all those people that have been betraying us, we will not re-elect them. We have to send all of them home. And that's why for me, I always say, sorry to say, that I don't trust any of Moi's students. None of them. Sorry to say that, I don't. And the reason is, they all are very selfish. They all think for their own stomachs. Because I won't be surprised when sooner or later, Rigathi Gachagua is agreeing against something with Ruto, making a deal. Pay me this and this money and I'll stop to fight. Pay me this and this, pay me what you owe me and I'll be quiet. Pay me here, pay me. That's the Moi students. And I want Kenyans to wake up. When I say Moi students, I mean everybody. Kalonzo, Wetangula, Mudavadi, even Gachagua, sorry to say, he too is included. All these Moi students, Uhuru, all of them, home. All of them, send them home. We have our Gen Zs. We have our millennials. The good ones, the clever ones, the intelligent. Why we can't do that? If Burkina Faso have done that and they have a very young leader, why we Kenyans can't do that? We want new faces. But you Kenyans, the problem is we keep returning the same thieves. We exchange them. When they are fighting, we choose which side to go in the war, and we are left there, we as Kenyans. It is the normal Mwananchi who are suffering. It is that our students, our boys, our girls, after finishing school, they have no jobs. The only thing that the government thinks is the best for our kids is to send them to the Arabic countries to go and work there like slaves for peanuts money. Our young and boys in Kenya, they are forced to go and start selling drugs around the world. Drugs that we know they are bad for health, bad for everything. And they are rotting in jails around the world. And we have a government in Kenya. and we are busy smiling, putting back all these old boy students. We should send all of them home because they will play more games with us. It's high time we say, please, if you're a Moi student, pack and go in 2027. And for the youths, for the millennials, for the Gen Zs, we have to check you out one by one. We don't have to look that, hey, you are from rich family. Oh, you are from the, no, we have to look integrity. The people who have the education, those are the kind of people who should rule our nation. But in Kenya, we know it. We always check who has the money, who has come from rich family. Hey, whose father was who? Those are the ones you want. And that's why the poor, the number of poverty in Kenya, it goes increasing and increasing. The poverty in Kenya, it's so many when you compare with the percent. That today there are so many Kenyans, they can't afford 3 meals a day. No breakfast, lunch and dinner. So many families can't afford that. It's hard. It's heartbreaking. What can I say? Please let us be Kenyans who are awake. Let us be Kenyans who love our country. Let us be Kenyans and say, we've been fooled enough. Those people who are my age, I'm 50 years old. You know what I'm talking about when I say about Moi students. I grew up knowing all those names. All those names you see, I grew up seeing them. Around Moi, around who, around what, Kibaki, around Wuru. They've been there for years and years. We want new faces. Faces that will teach the Kenyans that it's not a favor to get development. It's your right. That you all have to go and say, oh, please, President, hey, we want this road. We want this hospital. Hey, we want these schools. Listen, Kenyans, it's your right. It's your taxpayers' money. But the way the things are, the way the politics are run in Kenya is that if you are not close or friends with the president, in your areas there are no development. That's criminality by itself. When will our Kenyans ever wake up? That's why I'm saying we have to send all these Moi students home because they are the ones who think that way. They have the old Moi mentality. If you don't agree with them, if you're not friends with them, they make sure your areas are not developed. No roads, no hospitals, no nothing, no schools, nothing. So you have to be going and kneeling down for them like they are God. It's high time for all of us Kenyans to say we are tired of that kind of leadership. And the only way we can change this is to send all of them home. All Moi students home. All of them. They can go and be making their deals out there. And then we the Kenyans, let's join together and say, you know what? We have to look who has the best education. Who has, who has the good record, conduct record. Someone who's never been caught in criminality. Who can lead our nation. How I pray that day will come for our Kenya, because that will be the only time real freedom will come in Kenya. What can I say? Please, if you've enjoyed this scrutinization and analyzation of this beautiful song, please tap the subscribe button. I'll appreciate. You can comment, share, and like as well. And as I say, I always go live every day from Monday to Thursday at 10 o'clock Kenyan time. And now in Sweden or German time, it's 9 o'clock. We have summertime now. It's at 9 Swedish and German time. So I'll be back again tomorrow with another banger, another song, another... I always dwell, for those who are new, that I dwell with gospel songs, political songs, and also Mogidi or party songs. So we'll see tomorrow what I've prepared for you. So thank you all so much. Thank you so much, Regine Reinberg, Mamoyo, thank you so much. And Lil TBT, thank you so much for coming. And for also all those that are back and those that are going to listen to me later, I thank you all so much. And stay blessed. We catch up again tomorrow. Bye-bye.